So for all of you guys that have been following this missing submersible with me, we have an update, and I just got finished watching the press conference. So in this video, I'm going to go over what they said in the press conference. I'm going to give you guys some of my opinions. I'm going to show you guys a visual of something that you may not know later in the video. And I'm also going to tell you guys and show y'all something that I heard. So make sure you guys watch the video to the end if you want to hear all of that. So before I get started, I just want to say I'm sending all of my thoughts and prayers and love out to the family members, to the people that have been searching for these five. When they did the press conference today, you could just see how somber and upset everybody was. So if you don't already know, I'm just going to let you guys know now that they have announced, the Coast Guard has come out and announced that they found pieces of debris of the Titan submersible.
Morning, an ROV or remote operated vehicle from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families.
They found the first piece about 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic, which is quite a distance, which is shocking. And all of the pieces that they have found is consistent of a catastrophic implosion, which we've known from the beginning was a possibility. I know that a lot of y'all told me in the comment sections that y'all thought that that's what happened, but I also know that a lot of us, and I'm sure including the family, was holding out hope for a miracle.
The only saving grace about that is that it would have been immediate, literally in milliseconds, and the men would have had no idea what was happening.
They talked about how they were still going over the details. They said that they did not know yet exactly what happened. I wonder if it's going to be hard for them to really find out what happened unless they know more of what happened before they lost contact, which is something that we're going to be talking about here later in this video. But we do know that they were descending and still had contact with the mothership at 1 hour and 45 minutes, okay? It's supposed to take them 2 hours to get down there. So they were almost down to the bottom, still having contact and alive before everything went completely silent. One of the professionals stood up there and said that they found 5 major parts of debris down there.
So essentially we found 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan. The initial thing we found was the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull. We then found a large debris field. Within that large debris field, we found the front end bell of the pressure hull. That was the first indication that there was a catastrophic event. Shortly thereafter, we found a second smaller debris field. Within that debris field, we found the other end of the pressure hull, the aft end bell, which was basically comprised of the totality of that pressure vessel. We continue to map the debris field, and as the Admiral said, we will do the best we can to fully map out what's down there.
Something that I found interesting, I don't know if it's maybe a little aggravating. That's the word. A little aggravating is the reporters, they kept asking, like yelling and asking, are you going to try to recover the bodies?
Will you attempt to recover the bodies, can we ask you, the victims?
Are you going to try to recover the bodies? Now, I get that not everybody researches or watches YouTube videos and stuff, but I do feel like if they were reporting on this, they should probably know that far down, there is no recovery of the bodies. There's no bodies left. The pressure down there is so heavy and strong, they were instantly it imploded. They were crushed. They are one with the sea now.
We went down to the Titanic as we decorated a styrofoam cup of regular size. And we put it not in the area where the people were, but the area outside. And that's what happens to it at Titanic depth. And it's what would happen to human flesh.
So I have a visual for you guys, and this is coming from a video that a lot of people are sharing over on Twitter. And this is just like to give you guys a visual image of what the pressure does to you when you get deep into the water like that. I was listening to an interview earlier this morning, and you guys, this is, not confirmed at all, but there was a Navy retired submariner who said that he heard, not confirmed, which way I'm understanding what he's saying, allegedly, when the 5 were descending, they were speaking to the mothership and saying that they were descending too fast and that they needed to slow down.
Again, it's an unconfirmed report that there was a message sent before they lost comms that they were trying to drop ballast, which indicates that the vehicle was heavy and descending quicker than anticipated. So maybe they lost the thruster. Maybe they lost both thrusters, and now they couldn't control their descent. So they're dumping ballast to make themselves lighter and come to the surface. If that's the case, and they actually impact the seabed with the hull intact, if you free fall, okay, so let's say they were 2,000 meters down or 2,500 meters, you're going to almost 4,000. So there's another 1,500 meters of free fall. When you impact the seabed, it's like running into a light pole.
Remember, at this time, they're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. They're trying to release some sandbags so they would slow down, and it wasn't working, and then everything went silent. And it makes me wonder, did something break off? And then did they possibly not be able to release the sandbags because something wasn't working, and then they hit the bottom? And I know sometimes we would think that if they're in the water, they hit the bottom, it doesn't hit hard, but it does still hit hard. If you look at the Titanic, there is so much sand around it because when it hit the bottom, and if this Titan hit the sea floor,
some damage, and maybe that weakened the hull just enough that it didn't implode immediately. But you've got to remember, while they're sitting on the bottom, they've still got all of that sea pressure pressing on the hull. And if there's a weak point, at some point, that weak point is going to give. And then you would have an implosion.
I can just see how difficult it's going to be to come up with any real answers unless the people at the mothership spoke to them and heard things. But if they did, why didn't they get a hold of the Coast Guard so much quicker? Why did they wait till 5:30 to see if they were going to pop back up? Why did they wait until 9 p.m.? I don't know. Maybe because it's a private company and they have protocols within the company. None of it really makes any sense. The only silver lining from an outsider would be that they didn't suffer. But I just can't imagine like what happened in those moments before. Like, did water start coming in and a panic happened? Did they hit the bottom and bounce off of it, and then the hull was compromised and it imploded? It's sad to think about. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, I am still going to be watching this to see if they come out with any answers of what exactly happened. It's still unimaginable to me to think about going down that far in the water. 13,000 feet below sea level. 13,000 feet below sea level.